Hello, paradigm shifters. Woohoo!
What up? Hey, hey.
We've got this day. I know you've been waiting on pins and needles for this day. Adelina's with us. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for her. And so right now, and we are like in our 200th members from 9 countries all over the United States, and so grateful for you for knowing that you're in a shift and believing in yourself through this shift. So
Mm.
I was so excited to bring on, I asked Adelina just the other day if she would come on and give a little bit of her experience, strength, and hope. One thing I know about Adelina is that that she lives in San Jose, California. And right now, San Jose, California is in the midst of yet more circumstances, conditions. And Adelina is a young mom. She's young, and her baby is young. And that her mission statements is that she serves others in hearing and listening to their divine intuition. So, welcome, Adelina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Well, I want to just turn this over to you and ask you, like, do you just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are right now and where you're from and all of that? I'm fascinated by your culture as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm in San Jose, like you said. I have a 1 year old. I actually just asked my mother in law to go to the furthest room away from where I am now so that you all wouldn't be hearing my very talkative and vibrant 1 year old. Her name is Willow. Like you said, it is in the midst of new circumstances here in San Jose. We have bad air quality because of the fires nearby. Thankfully, the fires this time are not in San Jose. They were about a month ago in San Jose. Um, but yeah, so it does really require, I mean, yesterday we canceled plans. We wanted to go outside and have a picnic. We had to cancel that. And in this pandemic, we're very sheltered. So we're already not doing things indoors anywhere. So the outdoors is really that like special place, even more special than usual. And the air quality wasn't good enough yesterday, and it's not good enough today to take even a walk outside. And so it has, I feel like this process of 2020, and I know it's just the beginning. I know that 2020 is not going to end in 2021, but it really is this time of transformation. And I was talking to one of my clients about that no one, not any one of us are an exception to that experience of transforming. And so more and more there's opportunities to transform. So it's like right when I think I have a flow where I'm like, oh, something else comes up, something else comes up, something else comes up. And I know that I'm not alone in that experience in life in general, but also during this special transformative year. Yeah.
Yes. So, if you were to give some tools of how it is when you, I'm just going to say, do you ever lose it?
All the time. All the time. Somebody had asked my husband, what is it like being married to a healer? And and he looked at me and we both laughed, and I was like, he's not married to the healer, Adelina. He's married to the human, Adelina. There's so much that definitely comes up. So sorry, continue your question. You
No,
asked
I
me if I
think
ever
that's
lose it.
right.
I'm
And
not
it's
on
like
that. Yes.
on this human thing, we call them what? Paradigms come up.
Mhm.
Because this is paradigm. So, like, what are some of the paradigms that come up with an infant and, well, just being a mom, a wife, all of that? What are some of those paradigms that are coming up for you now? I mean, if you wouldn't mind.
No, I just had one like I don't know, 10 minutes ago. Come up. I mean, they come up all the time. I mean, when I asked my mother-in-law, who I'm so grateful for, she helps us about 8 days of the month. And so the rest of the time it's just me and my husband. We've kept our circle very, very tight. Um, but when I asked her to take Willow to the other room, to the room furthest away, I just had a moment in me of like I was really proud of myself. I had a lot of meetings today, and I feel really productive and all this stuff. And I haven't spent that much time with my daughter,
Oh.
right? And
Mhm.
so the paradigm of like, oh my God, you're not, it's kind of like twofold. It's like you can never do enough. If I spend a lot of time with her, then it's like, oh, I didn't spend enough time on my work or my business or with other, whatever, connecting with people on the phone and relationship building to just friends and family, all that. Um, and yet if I don't spend time with her because I'm doing those things, then that guilt come in, that mom guilt is
Oh.
definitely real. I I know that it's like that for a lot of moms, even pre-COVID. But I will say, in my experience, I've only had the experience of her during this time. It definitely is heightened right now because we are choosing not to have daycare on a consistent basis to just keep our family as safe as we feel um, we can. So definitely that comes up. I think it's layered with, yes, being a mom, being a wife, being a friend, being a sister, being a daughter, um, but also being a business owner. That plays in, that pulls a lot. So that the mom guilt, the am I doing enough? Actually had a conversation with one of our shared coaches, and he asked me, okay, well, what is enough for you?
Good
You
question.
know? Yeah, what is enough? Because I was like, "Ah, well, I have X amount of clients, I'm doing this, and, I'm able to, spend time with my daughter in this way, all this." And it's like, there's this feeling of like, "Oh, but it's never enough." I heard a quote, once. It was like, "We expect women to work as though they have no kids,
Oh.
but then to be a mother as if they have no work."
Whoa.
Right? So it's like, there's that feeling of you're never doing enough.
Well, when that feeling comes up, is there something that you tell yourself or you do or a tool to bring you back into the moment? I know when we were talking before, you were I hope you don't mind me saying that, but you said that you were just talking to your great grandmother.
Mhm. Yes.
And I'm like, okay, let me see. You're talking to your great grandmother. You're sequestered. And that I would love to have you talk more about. You're talking to your ancestors, and is that and where you learned that, and like, is that a tool that we could use as well?
Oh my god, yes, use
Tell,
it.
tell me more. I want to know. I want to. I think that that's your specialty. So could you please tell me how you?
Yeah, and definitely it was in the midst of, just it was the other day. I've been working on bringing yoga more into my life, and taking care of myself in that consistent way. So I've been waking up every morning to do yoga, and I did my yoga, and then at the end I actually signed out of the class early. I do like a live class, but I signed out early because I wanted to meditate longer. I just felt the calling to like go deeper. And as I laid there in, just after what was it called, but not, I don't even know the names. But you're just laying down at the very end, the whole idea is like you do all this yoga just to get into this space to lay down and be at peace, to be still. And so I'm laying there, and I'm talking to spirit. I'm thinking about how scared I am, the fears that have been coming up. One around motherhood, and you know this, but my husband has recently been told that he's being laid off
Yeah.
of his job of 20 years, and he has been the main breadwinner, if I may, or the backbone. And because of that, I've been able to like have fun and explore my passion in service and in coaching. So I'm having all these fears. And then I close my eyes and I'm grounded in, and I feel this presence. And I know, I actually, when I told you, I said it's one of my great grandmas, and in Tagalog it's Lola. It's one of my great Lolas. I don't know which one. One I haven't met. I haven't met any of my great grandmas, Anyway, one I hadn't met, but she was just laughing. She was just laughing at me, but in this loving way. But it was like, what exactly do you have to be scared of? Right? What are you scared of? What are you scared? And it's funny to meet a ancestor and see how some things have stuck throughout the generations, because my family is not one to um, be verbally loving and it's not like oh, I love you, you're gonna be fine. That's not my family. And so, and we're very much more sarcastic and joking, but you know that they love you. It's just like we hold you to a high standard because you come from greatness, right? And so there was this um message, and she's laughing, and she's like, what do you have to be scared of? Are you scared because you have a loving husband? Yeah. Are you scared because you have a roof over your head? What, because you have a business? What exactly are you scared of, child? You know? And she just like, let it go. She said, just let it go. Just go. Just go do it. There's nothing, there's nothing you need to be scared of. And I think, I'm Filipino, and I think about, I don't know which ancestor, I mean, I don't know how far back that ancestor is, but I think about, even if I go back to my grandma, my mom's mom, my Lola, like what she experienced in her life. She actually um, was in the Philippines still during World War II, and she would have to hide behind carabao, which is like water buffalo, to get food, right? Because you weren't allowed to go out, and you didn't want to get taken and become a prisoner, or also become a comfort woman for a girl. Like it's like some serious things, and she would hide. She would have to like run and hide. Imagine running and finding the next water buffalo to hide behind as you're gonna go gather food, right? So if you think even about my just one generation of grandma, not a great grandma, what am I worried about? Okay, sure, my engineer husband is going to be laid off. He'll find another job, you know? And so to be able to come from that place of being reminded of the privilege, really, that I have, and then the blessings, and then the freedom. She just said, and just go. Like, like nothing's holding you back. Just go do it. Go do whatever it is. Do what we've sacrificed. My ancestors have sacrificed so that I can do it, right? They sacrificed so much to even come to America. So, like, again, what am I worried about? So to your question, I just wanted to give a background story of that, of the conversation. But it's so funny that you say that, because when I told you, you didn't respond at all. You didn't. you weren't you weren't like, what do you mean, Adelina? You were just like, oh, cool, you talked to your great grandma, huh?
No, I just want to say that, well, I just love it when we have these conversations. And so many times after our conversations, I go and question, I question myself. Like,
Mm,
where did I get strength from my grandparents, or
mm-hmm.
mostly my grandmothers?
Yes.
And it was just like that. And so since we had that conversations, I've been meditating and getting these downloads. My mother left this plane in 2011. So it's been
Mm.
9 years. And so I get these messages from her a lot, like this. Like, and I think it's almost like you it's like all the things that were said over the years, they're really coming into fruition now, even though I'm older and elder, I guess you would say, which is really funny to me. And a nana.
Mm.
And so I am a grandmother to grandchildren, and I'll tell you what, watching my daughter become a mother has been such an amazing adventure. The strength
Hmm.
she has. So my question is, if you were to teach someone here that was yearning to get quiet enough and have the space enough to do, say, without the distractions, first of all, that, how would you teach someone to get quiet enough to listen to that inner voice, or the grandparents, grandma?
How would I teach them to get quiet enough to listen?
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you.
I was like, you're the one who asked it. Well, I actually, in another meditative experience, I was meditating more in connection to spirit, into connection with God, and similarly had some worries, had some fears, and downloaded, different. I don't know if we want to call it like keywords, different keywords to connect with, um, to answer the question of how to stay grounded in spirit, how to stay grounded in divine in the midst of chaos. And I think that that's important. I just want to kind of reframe that a little bit or expand on that a little bit, because I think right now is a very special time where not only are we seeing, intense um, health concerns coming up, we're also seeing a social uprising and revolution here. And then you also have, on as a part of that, politics. Like there's just so much happening, right? Um, and so the world is louder than normal. If I can say that, the
Yeah.
world is louder than normal. And so it's really easy to get swayed and moved by the current of the world. But if you do that, you're going to get whiplash because it's all over the place right now. So then the invitation is, well, rather than get moved by the world, let's get moved and connected by that which isn't phased by the world, that which doesn't move, that which is constant, which is spirit itself. And so when I came to God, came to spirit about my human worries and all this, da, 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 what came out was this download of how do you stay grounded in the midst of all this. And it was a very loving conversation, but similarly had some, and it's, I believe we receive messages in the way that we learn. So I learn a little bit by a little like little smack. Yeah. So that's kind of how sometimes my messages are received. But so I can share with you some of those messages, on how to be still. So, um, but actually, before I even get there, I think what's most important is you want to make time for it. Make time for it, even if it's a minute, even if it's 1 minute a day while you're on the toilet. I don't care. Just 1 minute while you're brushing your teeth, while you're in the shower. If you're not used to getting still, there are so many times in the day that you're doing something mindlessly. Mine says, why not use that as an opportunity to do it consciously, right? So make some time, even if it's 1 minute a day. That's one way to do it. Another thing is to have, you can have an accountability buddy, right? To ground you in, oh, I meditate for a minute, or I sat still for a minute, or while I was brushing my teeth, I focused on my gratitude for my teeth, right? While I was taking a shower, I focused on my gratitude for the water washing over me. That's meditating. And then when you do that, so much becomes available to you. But I do want to share a couple of messages that downloaded. So one, and the first one that I got was rest. So much easier said than done. But rest. And Spirit said, rest. Let me carry you through this transition. It'll all be okay. I am here with you always. So rest. So Spirit was saying that, but this is also true for our ancestors. Ancestors, different than Spirit, but connected in that they're all in that spirit world, if I may call it that, we can lean into them, we can rest. There is a ministry that I follow called Nap Ministry. They're on Instagram and I love it. And the whole idea is that napping is restorative, napping is healing. And rather than seeing it as we need to be productive all the time, come from a place of flow. Spirit isn't working all day, all night. Spirit doesn't tire itself out. Spirit just flows. It's like the ocean. The ocean doesn't work extra hard to be the ocean. It just is. We can just be. And so rest. The second one, well, there were several, so I'm going to jump around and give you like the main three that I really connected with. Was trust. Trust, and it was like all like if I can capitalize it, like the energy around it was like each letter was capitalized and spaced out, like to really like just trust. TRUST, trust, right? Like it was just this like, whew. So Spirit said, trust me to guide you, trust me to provide for you, trust me to heal you. How often do we go into what we consider or perceive to be a dilemma with fear? If we come into a dilemma with fear, that's not faith. You can't have fear and faith at the same time. So when we're coming into a dilemma with fear and not trusting spirit, then we aren't allowing ourselves to hear from the infinite in terms of what the answer is, what the solution is, and we're keeping it in this very limited experience of what the possibilities are coming from our own mind, right? So trust. Okay, this one was a little spicy here. It's a longer one. Realign. So whenever you know, and I love the word realign because Spirit didn't say align. Spirit said realign, which means that at some point we were aligned, right? We come into this world pure, beautiful, aligned, and then the world teaches us otherwise. So Spirit says realign with me. Realign your eating, your movement, your words, your budget, and your actions with me. And then I'm going to asterisk this right here. Come to me about everything, and everything will come into being. Come to me about nothing, and be reminded that it was never yours and yours alone. I love that because it's like, ooh, be reminded. Okay. So it's again, come to me, realign everything. Realign everything with spirit, with your higher self. Come to God, go to your higher self about everything, and everything will come. Go to spirit about nothing, and be reminded that it was never yours and yours alone. Like that's like, whoa, okay. Like it was never mine, right? And so I really hold on to that message right there. So I'll pause on that. There was a lot there.
Oh yeah. So what a message for everyone today. That was so beautiful. And just to do a recap, I'm taking notes like crazy, which I highly recommend everyone to rewind this and whatever it is that touches your heart and soul and send this to someone. But the rest, let me carry you through the trust and realign. Just those three, not just. One thing, whenever I say the word just, it means those are big. Those are ahas. Yes. So and look at you. You got this little almost 1-year-old in the background.
Can you hear
And yeah, no, I could, kind of, I'm just, like I told you yesterday, I was like, well, can we just see Willow? No, no.
I love Willow, but she loves seeing herself too, so she will. She will be all over the screen.
We have a Nana fix here, and it, it's such a powerful message for this time, actually for any time. But I love how you said that the world is loud. There's noise, and all that. So what I would love to do now is to ask you to take a deep breath here.
Mm,
I would love thank well, first of all, thank you for taking time out of your day. And
mm,
with I know that you're a successful business owner, a coach, surrendered healing is going strong, and a mom. And I love what you said about that guilt word. Um, you know, that mama, nana, whatever guilt, whatever it is, guilt, and that it goes back to that trust. So, what I would love to ask you, Adelina, what is it that we in our paradigm shifters group, what would you love to have us hold for you and your family? What would
mm.
you love to have us hold for you? For giving us your wisdom. We're just to be you. And what would you love? What is it that you love? What is your
Thank you,
vision? What
Judy.
would you
Thanks for asking. You know, I had I don't know what the right word is, but like a revolutionary, let's use that, revolutionary moment with my husband the other day. Like I said, he's an engineer, so his mind is very um, structured, and I do intuitive work, and so it's this beautiful opposite way of being in the world. But I was talking to my sister about a vision that I have, that we have really, to move to Alameda, California, which is not too far away from us. It's about 40 minutes away. But the homes there are absolutely beautiful. And it's like, old Victorian homes, and they're all so different and unique because of that. And it's right along the beach. And so I absolutely love that area. And the homes that we would love um, are, $2.5 million, right? And so that's really where we would love to be. And I was telling my sister, I was on the phone with her. Me and my husband were driving. He was driving. I was in the passenger seat. I was on the phone with my sister, and I'm talking to her about our vision, and how we're really working on holding that vision in the midst of all the circumstances, including his job transition, right? And so I'm telling her that this is our stretch right now, to stretch to believe that it's even in the midst of all of this, it's going to happen. And I was totally blown away because my very structured engineering, I need evidence based experiences husband looked at me kind of upset. And when I got off the phone, I was like, what is it? He's like, I can't believe that you said that that's a stretch. We're moving to Alameda, babe. What are you talking about? It's happening. It's happening. So if you all can hold that, I waver in and out, but I would absolutely love that. I would absolutely love to be in Alameda, California, along the beach, taking Willow to the ocean. Every day is really my dream, to be able to go to the ocean every day, just walk there, you know, in this beautiful Victorian home, and all that stands for in terms of the flow of abundance, financial abundance, but also, abundance of time, abundance of connection, abundance of love, for us to be in our dream home.
Ah, and so it is.
So it is.
And I'll do what I do with my clients. So when we are in groups, we are holding this as a group, and then we go, and so it is, and we go, so it is.
Okay, like that.
Yep.
I love
You know,
it.
all right, universe, take
Yes.
it away.
happening. It's happening, and so it is. I love that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time and your energy, and we love you. We appreciate you, and we behold all the ancestors and
Mm,
spirits inside of you.
thank you so
So,
much,
yeah.
Judy.